If any of you guys played this, or if any of you guys have any questions about this game, like what do you think? Is there anything you want to know more about Demon's Souls, or anything you want to add to kind of conversation? Yeah.
So you said you could kill the Maiden in Black at any time. What happens if you kill her before you get to the end?
I think she like resurrects, I think she doesn't die permanently in the game, but she's mad at you, and you have to pay more to level up. They generally don't take that mechanic away from you, but they punish you for breaking the rules. I know that's kind of the rules in later games. They don't let you kill them. They're like, you can't kill me, I'm immortal. So, but everybody else, if you kill them, it is permanent. So like, you can't get rid of your excess items, or you're going to pay a steeper price to do so. So, any other questions?
You said that when you were upvoted
yes.
in Demon's Souls that you're healed.
Yes.
Does that happen in the later games?
So in later games, like in Dark Souls, you have a limited restoration item, your Estus Flask. Mm-hmm. I would be playing it online, and suddenly I'd be like, why do I have 10? I thought I had 8.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I thought it was because I did something.
No, that can be other players upvoting your messages. Or, if other players beat the boss in the level you're playing, it can refill your health. There's all these like secret hidden things going on beneath the surface. Even the summoning and invading is very complicated. Like, you can't be invaded by somebody more than 10 levels higher than you. You can't summon somebody more than 10 levels higher than you. Right? So sometimes it's very hard to get summoned or invaded because, like, if you get too powerful, you can't get help anymore. Right? And the only people who can challenge you are people who are almost just as powerful as you. So it's kind of one of the sad things about the online going away is, like, the real time to play it was the day everybody got it. Yeah. When everybody was level 1. Instead of everybody being like, you usually finish the game about level 100. There's going to be less and less players up there, you know? And if players are playing through the game again and again and again, they're going to be like 100, 200. You're not going to match with anybody so well. One of the nice things they did in future games, you can summon outside your level cap with a password. So like my friends on Twitter will be like, I'm stuck. I'll be like, let's make a private game. Summon me in. And I'm level 200 and you're level 30. I have everything.
They added that password thing to Dark Souls 3, and it's going to be in the remake of 1. So
yes.
It's going to be more doable. And also there's a Reddit where every so often they'll all restart one of the games together. So it's not like everybody's level 1, but there are a bunch of people who are going through about the part you are. It's pretty cool. They're trying to do it with Demon's Souls, but the servers are already pretty
Yeah, the servers are already kind of dead. I did Dark Souls 2, Everybody Come Back, and it was great. Like, I had this great experience of, like, there was a dark stage, and I just held the torch for people and didn't even swing my sword, but they could see in the dark now. So the online gets a lot better in subsequent games. But all the core of what that online is right here from day one. Anything else?
It was really interesting to hear all the quotes from Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing how he came about this almost Western kind of style of game. I mean, when I played Dark Souls, I was so engrossed with how like dark and brooding this medieval world was. So I searched out other media like Dark Souls. I wanted to find that experience again, and I came across the anime Berserk.
Yeah, Berserk is a big influence.
Were there any other like? Do you see any other influences in that Miyazaki came across?
I mean, obviously the language barrier is hard, so it's hard to get interviews with him, and he's very reticent to talk about stuff. You know, the sorcery one was a big reveal into what we realized was going on. And yeah, like, you saw the guy crucified to a wagon wheel. That literal image is in Berserk. Like, that is his biggest influence. Like, it's really these couple influences looming large. And yeah, Lovecraft plays big into Bloodborne. There are Lovecraftian monsters even in Demon's Souls. But people kind of don't know where else he's coming from. There's actually a really good video series by this guy, Jerks on Frontiers. And he's more knowledgeable of Eastern culture, which, you know, I don't have a background in. And he's like, there's a lot of Buddhist stuff, resurrection, and like your place in the cycle of life repeating that's in these games that just as Westerner, like we get all the Western stuff. Yeah. We're like, oh yeah, I know that. But all the Eastern stuff is kind of a little murky and like it's hard to talk about if you don't really know that stuff.
Did anybody have like a crazy like experience when they were playing, like a good story?
Yeah, well, did everybody just get to level 1-1 and go, nope?
I remember the like penultimate boss, which is like a king at the top of a tower, and like he had a special move where if he struck you and you got hit, you would actually lose a level.
Yeah. Yeah, that is horribly cruel. Yeah, they took that. It doesn't exist in any other game, but
I
yeah,
have a crazy experience.
yeah.
So there's this bug if you're playing online where it'll save over and over really, really fast. And then if you go to a new area, the textures won't load, so
Yeah.
you're just kind of walking on nothing.
Yeah.
So I was in the Tower of Latria, and the staircase loaded in, but then I went into the boss, which is like these two gargoyle scorpion things that are like that's something they wouldn't do later either, is like have this thing that rushes at you on a tiny little, it's easy to roll off kind of bridge. But I managed to do it, like even though I couldn't see the bridge, just by seeing their path, like keeping my eye on that torch. Like it was a completely unreasonable challenge, and doing it felt pretty good.
Yeah, you know, one of the things we talked about how they're remastering Dark Souls, and other than like higher res textures, one of the big things is like a real servers for it. And like, as much as it's sad that the Demon Souls servers are going away, they stink. And it's the only one of the series you don't play worldwide. If you played in America, you only play against American players. If you play in Europe, you only play against European players. In Japan, you only play against Japanese players. That's part of all that licensing stuff we saw at the beginning. It's this weird thing, and that's why I like the whole thing of like, is the world worth saving? It's like, is Demon Souls Online worth saving? Like, if it doesn't really work so well. Like, I'll miss some of it, but otherwise, you're right, it's buggy.
Do you think when they designed it, they anticipated that the internet would come and create this amazing strategy guide with these wikis and these maps, and that would be part of the fun for people, or was that just a side effect that happened?
I mean, it seems so baked into the game with the messaging system. I don't know that they thought it would be as in-depth as it was because they made this limited messaging system. You know, I'm sure they released a $20 strategy guide, you know, so they make money, but like, it's one of those things of like, over time, like, suddenly everybody was talking about this game. A lot of people talk about one of the things that Demon Souls really brought back for older players, this idea of the playground gossip. The like, hey man, I got to this level in this game where I found this secret in Legend of Zelda. Like, what? I never found that. Where is that? Like, I've never heard about that. And you can't check it on the internet. You have to just rely on, like, your friend got an issue of Nintendo Power and found something, or found something by accident, and now he told it to you, and now you know it, right?
One more crazy story. So this was my third time through as well, getting ready for this, and so I decided to go for the Blue Blood sword, which is the thing you can make out of the Astrea's soul. It's like one of the few, or maybe the only thing that scales with luck. So to get it as early as possible, you have to like give yourself as much HP regeneration as you can, so you can survive in the swamp, and like get an okay weapon from the Shrine of Storms kind of early. And it's really not a cool thing to do to yourself, but it was. And then when you get to the Maiden Astrea, unless you want to fight Garl in a really difficult way, you can also just go up on a bridge and snipe her with 200 or so arrows. It seemed so much like breaking the game that I kind of had to try.
But the game is like literally like Break Me.
It's
like,
infinitely Break Me,
yeah.
Which is one of the things I respect about it, because there's like so many big releases now are like terrified that you're going to play them wrong or it won't look enough like a movie or something. Allowing itself to be broken makes these games so cool.
Yeah, especially like all of these things, like, and like if you guys ever look online, the community around this of like, oh, I'm gonna beat the game like with my fists. Like, I'm not gonna equip a weapon, but like if I do this and this and this, like, I can actually be really strong with my fists. But again, it's that thing of like, this game is broken. You can break it, but we're not gonna tell you can break it. But if you figure that out, you know, like when you have that moment where you're like, I can kill the blue dragon, where you're like, I don't have to fight Garl Vinland, who can smash me with his hammer. I can just kind of pick off Maiden Astrea from a cliff face and not be in any danger.
Because there's like 3 extra dialogues of her begging you not to.
Yeah, you're a real monster if you do it. But you can do it. And once you figure out you can, again, that becomes your story of Demon Souls. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Demon Souls because like it is the first one. It is a game that's going away. The others will eventually go away. And so this is the first time we actually have to talk about like this crucial element of this game will be gone. Unlike Dark Souls, they're not going to remake this one. I don't think they'll ever redo it.
Great. Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.